Mama's been hurting, Daddy's been down. Ain't nobody been working since the mill left town. They got two youngins, not 10 years old, with $200 left in his billfold. And a week's worth of groceries is the price of gold when your whole damn country's been bought and sold. Never there's been hard times, it's always made hard folks who could get her to the other side and not let it be all she wrote. I'd love to live to be an old man, but God, you can take me a young one. Just don't let the land I love die so young. Of thee I sing, I've been flying low in my troubled mind. Get to digging me a hole my soul can't climb. It's the end of the world, but nobody knows, 'cause they all just stare at the trash on their phones in a land that's littered with many men's bones who died fighting for somewhere they could call home. Whenever there's been hard times, it's always made hard folks who could get her to the other side and not let it be all she wrote. I'd love to live to be an old man, but God, you can take me a young one. Just don't let the land I love die so young. Of thee I sing,
flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life for me, yeah.
What is going on, Hive? All right, I got the audio loud and clear, and wow, that $50 super chat to start the Hive is incredible. Thank you for that. Obviously, as you guys know, I never ask for money. I keep all my streams completely free, so that is unbelievable. I am excited, and I was very eager for tonight's stream. I don't know if anybody saw when the intro started, my little play on words where I said vets get it started, because we will go into our conversation with Will last night, and I guess I'll leave it at that. So before I do, though, I want to say what's up to the best chat and Hive Mind on YouTube. I truly believe that. We got Smix Mixins in here, Bianca, Dom. Let's go. That's awesome. You guys rock. Seriously. Man, that's so cool. Beck is in here. Dina's in here. Bianca. Festive. Shout out to my first mod over on YouTube. Sherry, I agree. Thank you so much. Budford. Heyo. Hey, Kathy. How are you doing? Betty Joe. 1111. Shout out to the Midwest. Chantelli Lace. Was Gucci my Louie? Carrie Jasper. I agree. Thank you, Dom. Woke up 1984. That's an awesome username. Brooke, happy hump days, right? Eileen, Donna, April, Dawn. Shout out. I haven't said this in a while, but Dawn has been crucial behind the scenes telling me how to get the Discord link fixed and get it updated on my YouTube links. So that should be all fixed. If it's not, Dawn had said you got to use like an open browser, is how she phrased it. Carrie, how are you doing? Aubrey, aka Miss Birdie. She does rock. Drew, ATL Drew is in the house. Nick R, I agree. The Discord is awesome. And where is everybody tuning in from? And I agree, Chantelli Lace, it really did. I got Phoenix backstage ready to go. I'm going to bring her up right after this. We got Philly, Wisconsin. Shout out to my fellow cheesehead. Belgium, UK, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ohio, Cali, North Carolina, Scotland, Carolina, CJ, War Eagle, SoCal. I haven't seen any of my West Virginia folks in here in a while. Austin, Alaska, Australia, Utah, Michigan, the Hive Down Under in Australia, Virginia, colorful Colorado, Spokane, North Texas, baby. Let's go. Another Texas, Kentucky, West Virginia. Thank you for saying that. Who's ever from there? All right. Let's get this stream on the road. Thank you all for tuning in. Today is June 25th. It's Wednesday, 2025. I'm going to bring up Phoenix. Phoenix, we got you loud and clear.
What is the wordy birdie?
Oh, I don't know. You know how my day started today?
I can imagine how it ended last night.
Yeah, I mean, well, that too. Yeah. And I went right into, apparently I've been grinding my teeth when I sleep. And Mrs. Birdie's like, dude, it's like getting bad. It's like waking me up. So a couple of weeks ago, I went to the dentist for like a cleaning, and I had mentioned it. So they fitted me. They put all that like foam in your mouth to like get the molding. And I got one of those night guards made.
Yeah,
and
baby.
The first couple of nights that I use it, I'd wake up like, because it goes so far back on my molars, I'd wake up like, so she's like, I'd rather listen to you grind your teeth then wake up gagging in your sleep. So this morning I had to go through and do that all again, which is, if you've ever had like a fitting made for your mouth, it's not enjoyable having all that gunk and foam and whatever else it is to press your teeth into. So anyways, yeah.
Sadly, I know. Welcome to older age.
Does that mean I'm old?
I said older.
Oh, older. But no, to kind of pick up with what you said, or before I told that story. Yeah, last night.
So, Birdie, you gagged.
Yeah, pretty much. I guess that did maybe that's the reason for it.
It's horrible.
Well, I have a couple of things to say about it. And I want to, again, more so, I'll start with this. Everybody is entitled to their own opinion, right? I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Obviously, the Hive and this channel was built on everybody can have their own opinion. But when it feels like it's not necessarily about an opinion and it's about like just trying to prove something that you might not know, or that there's a reason why something wasn't said on stream, and you kind of take it like a little bit, I don't know, too far, which is fine, whatever, you can take it far. I'm not losing sleep over it. I guess I was just a little bit surprised that there was that reaction, and I'm going to explain some stuff. But Phoenix, I'll get your thoughts on that, and I have some slides prepared, Phoenix, as far as like the vetting we did and showing people what we did. But if you have any general thoughts.
I was shocked, man. I thought we were loved. I mean, we were the hit of TikTok, right? And I know there's some unlikers out there. I won't call them the H word, but you know what? It just goes to show you how far people will go to get a view.
Yeah.
I'm just shocked. I mean, I know we're up here seeking justice. In this case, if he indeed is guilty, it'll all come out in trial. But we go with the premise you are innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
And this case has been tried by the media.
Yeah. And I want to talk about something really quick. So this whole, did Birdie and Phoenix even vet him? And I just want to be really clear about this.
Mm-hmm.
Neither myself or Phoenix would ever go live with someone that we hadn't vetted, period. And Will, I'm sorry if you're watching this, but I'm just going to lay out what I guess our version of vetting is. Right.
We knew, he knew, we knew.
Yeah, we got his service records from his time in the military. We found his Facebook page, his YouTube page. We even went as far as we found his criminal history. Everything checked out. We confirmed his identity prior to ever going live. And I also, in addition to that, because one of the things that I had heard was like, did Birdie even vet him? Would he just hop on the phone with him and take his word for it? So after Phoenix and I had been talking, because let's not forget, we played that video. The Hive reached out. Will and I got into contact. He originally said no. And then like 2 or 3 days later, after the weekend, he reached out and he said that he changed his mind because his videos were taken down. And I'm going to show some screenshots here and explain that. So he said, I'd like to get on there and at least talk about it because it kind of pisses him off that his video got taken down. And he said he would never go on anyone's stream if he could just post himself. Okay, so we talked, I believe, 2 times for 45 minutes or longer, in addition to sporadic texts. Half of it, when we got closer to the stream, was making sure that he was set up for the StreamYard platform that Phoenix and I use. I'm going to send you the link. I don't believe that he had an iPhone, so he couldn't find the StreamYard guest app in his app store. So we had to talk about, okay, well, I'm going to send you the link. Can you click? Does it pull it up still? Yada, yada, yada. Because I had no idea if it was compatible. I only ever use it on a PC. So when we were talking, I was asking him things like, how do you know what you know? Is this 100% true? what's your biggest concern about coming on a live stream? Because he asked, is this going to be live, pre-recorded? If people were to quote unquote fact check you, what are they going to find? Do you have anything that you don't want me to ask you? And is there anybody that would warn me to not have you on? These were questions that I literally had thought to myself, what are questions that I feel like would be a good conversation starter for starting the conversation with somebody that I'm just meeting for the first time. First time I've ever talking to them, because I played a video of his on a live stream. So when we were talking, he went into detail about how did he know Bryan. He went into his opinions of what things were said about Bryan, how they're not true. One of the things that he really, really made crystal clear is that he didn't want to put himself or Bryan in a bad light about how they met. And before the stream, the only question, this is full transparency, the only question that Phoenix, myself, and Will had planned was, how do you want to address how you and Bryan had met? Because of, well, like, I don't think this is a newsflash to anybody. It was through addiction and drug circles, everyone. I think we all know that. I think that if you listened and he said, we ran with the same crowd, and not proud of that time.
And I just want to add in there, Bertie,
Yeah.
we were very respectable about what he said. We did not know that until 10 minutes prior to going live. However, Bertie did not know what I know. And you heard me specifically ask him,
You went through
how are
every
you
station,
going? Yeah.
too.
How are you going to address your history?
Yep.
Without insulting him. We did a round table, like we were all sitting down as friends, because we all were sitting down as friends with you in the live stream seconds before, backstage, seconds before we went live. And, if people are going to beat us up over we didn't, expose him or dox him or all this other stuff, but yet people have come up and wanted to do that, that's on you. You guys being disrespectful to Will, sharing his opinion, is very disrespectful.
And here's what I think actually bothered me. And as you guys know, I don't care if people troll unless it's like affecting, again, someone's like viewing experience, or it's wrecking the chat, or if it's a threat. I think everybody in here would vouch for Phoenix and myself, even back in the TikTok days. But when people are like, they gave no proof, is there pictures of him with Bryan? It's like, do you expect
Dude.
there to be a Polaroid of them shooting up in a Walmart parking lot together, taking selfies, documenting it on Instagram? What are we talking about here, guys? You know why I had Will on? Because I wanted to hear someone who said that they personally knew Bryan Kohberger, and what was Bryan like as a person prior to all of the headlines when nobody was watching. Who was he? And Will is one of the only people that has come out and said Bryan was shy, soft-spoken, would probably end up getting his ass beat by one of the girls, and wouldn't be capable of doing this. He was always just in the background, along for the ride, I believe was what he said. So
Exactly. And you know what? 100%. Dude was honest enough to give us his full freaking name. That should be enough, Bertie.
Yep.
He didn't hide his background. He didn't hide the fact, I'm going to come on as just Will. No, he provided his full information, guys.
So, dude, the other thing is like, and this is a message to everybody in the Hive, or if you're watching this at a later date, if you're ever a guest on my stream or a guest on the roundtable, if there is something that you ask me or say you're not comfortable with not bringing up, I would never railroad you or put you in a position to make you feel uncomfortable. You agreed to come on the show on these terms. And so it's like, if you want to, I'm going to get off this high horse because I know people didn't come on here to listen to me bitch.
Yeah.
But real quick, if you felt like you could have done it better, and what makes this all like honestly kind of sad is like he gave you a shout out, and obviously everybody knows who I'm talking about. He gave this person a shout out on my stream and also on his video. You were on the good creator list. And then you just drag his ass through the mud.
1,200 people in here, and Birdie gives you a freaking shout out. And I think the whole point is, if you want to go and pick apart Will, go back, watch the replay, click on transcript, because you only heard a little bit and went to go research and start digging through motocross websites, and I can go on and on. But
Phoenix.
that right there, wait a minute, Bertie, that right there shows you didn't listen very well in what he was saying, because you got the years wrong. You got researching.
Yeah. So sorry, I didn't mean to try to cut you off. I was trying to say,
I'm sorry.
because here's what we should have done, Phoenix. We should have found their teenage dirt bike results. Then I believe he would be vetted. And hang on. So, in the spirit of making sure we correct our mistakes, Phoenix, I went back and I made sure I'd vet him. So I talked to Will. I got a lot of stuff from Will that would validate what needs to be vetted as far as his motocross days. Pictures from his scrapbooks. Apparently on that New Jersey site that you all were looking at, you couldn't find any results. I found 2 within like 30 seconds. Here are the dates.
Yep.
Do you think all of these beautiful plaques would just be hanging up in his room because he's faking it? I mean, the trophy thing, we didn't even know was going to get brought up. I brought it up because everyone had mentioned like, wow, that's a lot of trophies. And what's even crazier too is Will said he thought she's upset because I politely asked her to stop putting my face on her click screens, which I think he means YouTube thumbnails, a couple of days ago.
Wow.
So now the other part too about his military thing, because there was, again, something said along the lines of like, well, is this guy really who he says he is? There's nothing. I mean, there's a lot. Here's even from a Facebook group about him talking about one of his favorite bikes that he saved up all of his money as when he was racing young, and talking about what year it is, what races he won to win the money to buy it. And then if it's like, oh, if that's not who he really is, and I don't remember the exact like military comment, but his phone was resting on this desk when he was on live with us, everyone. And what award did he say that he won? The Gung Ho Award. And he was an infantryman, and he graduated the School of Infantry. And then I don't know what the detachment means, if that's like an honorable discharge or when he got out, but then a Sweat Hogs Award. So,
well, honestly, it's one thing about Will, right? Will, I'm sure he can defend himself. But the other part was her bad mouthing you, Birdie. When I saw that, I was like, no. And then she went into me and I was like, oh, hell no. So,
I missed that part.
We're not, we're not going to get into all that drama. They could keep it over there. We are legit.
Yeah,
and
that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, Will was legit. And if you got a problem, it's your problem.
Yeah. And one thing that I do want to clear up is that he deleted his own video. So I went to, because a lot of people in the Hive Mind finds had sent me this. So I clicked on the original link. It says video unavailable. Does it say the video was deleted by a user? So I asked ChatGPT, I said, could this also mean that it was removed due to community guidelines and mass reporting? I didn't delete the video and now can't upload for a couple of weeks. Yes. Even though the message in the screenshot says this video has been removed by the uploader, that does not always mean you personally deleted it. Platforms like YouTube or TikTok sometimes display that message when a video is removed for violations, especially if the video was mass reported, which could you see that video getting mass reported, Phoenix? Because I could.
Well, they kept asking for an email proof.
Right.
And I'm thinking to myself, you don't get email proof other than video guidelines.
Well, the only thing might be is because, he's unable to upload for a couple of weeks, which he did say. He's like, I cannot wait for like whatever 16 days. He's like, I'm sure we'll see some of this type of energy come back out, I'm sure. And but if he's unable to upload for a couple of weeks, that's almost certainly a penalty. It's not something that happens from you deleting your own content. What it likely means is the platform flagged the video manually or automatically. It removed the video and issued either a strike, temporary suspension, or an account penalty.
And if you look at that list, I can only guess how many people reported this video. Come on, let's make logical sense of this.
Right. So anyways, the thing that I want to just hammer home is Will was vetted. And when it comes to his interactions with Bryan, what I felt was more important hosting him on our stream was that we're all in the same camp. We believe that Bryan is innocent. We believe Bryan couldn't do this. And we have somebody who, in a situation that he was with Bryan, he didn't want to talk about that. He'd rather talk about who Bryan was. And I commend Will for that. And I told Will if he wanted to share it, he could. And maybe if other people wanted to go a little bit harder on the questions, they probably could have reached out to him after the stream and done it then. So,
yeah, but I mean, knowing Will, he probably was pretty pissed off.
Yeah. I mean, I think he was. I mean, I'd be pretty, I'd be pretty pissed off if I'm an ex-Marine and an ex-addict and I'm putting myself on the line to talk about Bryan Kohberger, who's the biggest monster in the media in recent history. And then I get dragged through the mud over my teenage dirt bike wins.
Yeah. How ironic, right?
Maybe you need to vet your intentions.
Yeah.
So,
but I just want to say this Hive is, I mean, so amazing. All you Hivers, we appreciate you being here. And Bertie, can I just shout out to your gifters? Amazing.
Unbelievable.
I mean, it is just rolling in because of the work that we do. And it costs money to make sure that I have the systems and the databases I know to vet people. But you know what? I think in the beginning, someone had gave you a nice donation and let's go back to read their comment if you're going to go into Hive Mind Finds, or I think they need a shout out.
Yeah. So how can I put that up? Oh, here we go. Regardless of the consequential unknowns, the high probabilities of additional suspects, unfortunately appears the book will be closed on BK due to time constraints and costs. What's the true value of justice in human life? What a great question.
Mm-hmm. That's why I said we got to go back to this.
If I
especially after last night, right? Think about this question deep.
And if you guys remember too, on the stream, I played Jay and Bree's video where he had talked about kind of like, the time for speculation and whatnot, like when the trial starts is over, right? That's really what matters. We're coming up to it. What is jury selection? Almost a month away now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've already done some questionnaires too. People are getting summonses, guys. I've seen quite a few people post their summons. It's wild.
Yeah. And so the reason that I do not have excuse me, Hive Mind Finds tonight is because I was putting together those 3 slides in its place, Phoenix. But I'll have a ton tomorrow and Friday, which, by the way, Friday, as a reminder, Devil's Advocates. I don't know if you heard this, Phoenix. He asked me to go to his, I think he calls it like Devil's Advocates, something after dark.
Yeah.
So he's
Friday.
like, yeah, I just go on there and I drink and I drop a bunch of F-bombs. You want to join me? I'm like, sure. What the hell? So
sounds like fun.
Oh my gosh, this is crazy, guys.
No, we appreciate the Hive so much. You guys have no idea. And by the way, I did talk with Devil's Advocates today. We messaged back and forth. I told him what I knew after I talked to the clerk in Ada County about going to the trial, and the information that I received, I passed it on to him. We are looking to connect and meet up and definitely make sure one of us gets in that courtroom.
I mean, you two both are very, very skilled at piecing like outside information into the court docs. And you articulate it very well. You do it in a little bit slower talking speed than he does, Phoenix. But
Well, I mean, dude, I survived a stroke 3 years ago in
well,
June of 2022, and I'm about 95% recovered, but, I'm gonna just throw this in there. After you have a stroke, your brain works in a different manner, and your body, your mind, your brain has to make new neural pathways, which some people can't. So, I mean, I explain it like a kindergarten teacher,
oh yeah,
right?
and it was nothing because you talk slow. Someone in the Hive one time said that Devil's Advocate, he talks on speed dial. So I'm just like,
Oh,
yeah, no, it
I
wasn't
got it.
about that. But so I wanted to put this theme as like the DoorDash driver or drivers and the
Yeah.
timeline and how this house of cards is falling. I was watching Truth and Transparency's live today
Oh, on
at
the DoorDash driver timeline?
lunchtime
Yep,
about, or
yep,
maybe this morning,
yep.
and how she said, "I know Bill Thompson." She was like, "I'm gonna make T-shirts that say that."
I was gonna make a T-shirt that says, "I'm screwed."
Yeah. Oh yeah. Instead of scared.
Yeah.
And but one of the things that I want to talk about that Truth and Transparency brought up is how you can have a DoorDash account, but it's not guaranteeing who's using that DoorDash account. So
Yeah.
for, you know what I mean? Like, for example, like
Mhm,
if
I
I had
do.
one, Phoenix, and you're trying to make extra cash, could I give you either my phone or my DoorDash login info?
Yeah. Yeah, because you know what? And I will tell you, I've seen in Venmo, and this is just my own 2 eyes, and I do screenshot and keeps receipts. I've seen Venmo between these housemates for coffee and whatnot, so why wouldn't they share a DoorDash account? Is it
Yeah.
possible?
I mean, I think it's possible. And I think too, like,
Yeah, it's like Netflix, right? LG 12?
yeah. And I think too, what that does though is I mean, clearly they're driving each other's cars.
Yes. Hello, wearing each other's clothes?
So I had actually gotten a Hive Mind find again. If I would have had more time to put them on the slides today, I was going to put on how one of them had speculated that the DoorDash driver might have been the new contact added to DM's phone.
Oh,
Now,
possible.
I'd be curious. Like I'm going to speculate on King Road being a drug house in this fashion. Okay. Because,
Yeah, let me pay
well,
you on Venmo.
what I was going to say is like, we can all wrap our heads around like it being a drug and drinking and party house from a college perspective, right? Frats,
Yeah.
people come over. But I mean, to put it in the light for a second of would it be like, hey, you can either drop the drugs off, so it's like order a DoorDash, and then the drugs come in the bag, or would it be, hey, I'm going to order a DoorDash, this driver is going to pick it up, hence why maybe see, like I just started thinking, like, is
It's a
this why you're still
cover.
driving? Yeah, it's a cover. That's what I'm
It's a
trying to say.
cover.
Yes.
It's a cover. But you know what? It could also come from the standpoint, and I'm thinking very open-minded about this, is that, dude, you owe me 20 bucks. When are you going to pay me cash? Well, let me just order you something to eat a couple times and I'll pay you back like that.
Could be. There's
Think about it.
yeah. Yeah. And so now if there's multiple people there, and I'm going to read this because this like DoorDash, the whole DoorDash driver quote unquote investigation, right? Is now she was what's as far as Molly, okay? They were registered as of November 2022 having a 2014 Nissan Altima white. That's white, right?
Correct.
Okay. Now, it was that car is linked to the residence within walking distance of Linda Lane. So I want to give a shout out to Dana. I hope it's okay. I just said your first name for sending me this because this was interesting. But there was a 3:56 a.m. welfare check call about a reported light colored sedan idling on Linda Lane. at 3:56 a.m. Then there's obviously the vehicle seen in Linda Lane, and the food was allegedly dropped off at 4 a.m. approximately. So I mean,
Ah.
right?
Holy frick.
Could that be?
I'm waiting, but I haven't got payment yet, so I'm gonna sit here and wait for a minute.
What is that? Oh,
I've
yeah.
done that before.
Yeah. I mean, yes, because look, okay.
No, not in that context.
No,
But I'm
I
just
know, I know.
saying, okay, let me give you an example. On Instacart, when they drop your groceries off, you can give them a tip. And I usually do it right before they leave. So they're waiting and they know they're getting an extra tip from me.
Right. Now, that makes a lot of sense. So if the call came in at 3:56 saying that there's just a sedan idling on Linda Lane, let me ask, I'm going to ask the Hive this, and I'm going to ask you this too, Phoenix. How long would a car have to be idling? Like if you're just kind of a neighbor
But
in a college area, how long does a car have to be idling before you'd call the police for a welfare check?
maybe 15, 20 minutes. I'm
I
just throwing it out there.
I think that that's probably the right.
But if someone was just idling for like 3 to 5 minutes, why would a neighbor call?
That's what I mean.
And did this neighbor know what was going on in that house?
I don't know, because again, when you do and I'm going off of like layman's terms for a welfare check, I think, okay, well, something must be wrong. If I haven't seen them, if this car hasn't moved but it's running, maybe you're not seeing a phone light up in the car. Like, did they pass out drunk with their car running? Did
Or
they
did they pass out from
rugs?
the drugs?
Yeah. Or it could be they ate too many Jack in the Box items. That could also be it. It was a food coma, everybody. You know what I mean?
Wow, that makes you really think. How long was that car out there? But I didn't see anything on the blotter. So where was this called into?
Well, this is what's interesting. So then it says at 4:01 there was a civil standby call, and the redacted caller states that they left food on the porch at King Road. The asked dispatch if everything was okay. No name listed, no dispatch. So
Was there an oh, you got to go back and read that,
sorry.
Birdie. Um,
Interesting.
I don't know, but there was a fast food bag in the back porch with the evidence marker taken at the crime scene.
That is so true, because
Yep.
now was the food found on the porch in the morning?
I do not know. I won't. I don't know.
Because
Jeremy, was the DoorDash a drug dash?
but hang on, I'm reading through this because 4 a.m. was made by DoorDash.
Well, if you put 2 and 2 together from obviously the cop stop of Molly, MM, and what we've seen, if that has any truth to what the M was on the front seat of her truck, then we would obviously associate them. And by the way, there was a court date that she had to be at today, and also a court date for Bryan Kohberger that was stricken. It was stopped in the state of Washington for both of them on the same day. Unrelated, but they both had court dates today.
Oh. I mean, I just can't get over this whole welfare check call, Phoenix.
Yeah.
And I don't want to keep, hammering this point, but there's another screenshot that Dana had sent me about DoorDash helpline and Reddit reviews. I don't know if people have seen these, but
Now,
go ahead.
let's address the chat real quick about this DoorDash and the bags. There was a DoorDash that had Xana's name handwritten on the bag in the kitchen in some of the photos and the videos that have gone around virally. Now, there was another crime scene photo that I found just last week and posted, and there is a fast food bag in the backyard with about 3 to 4 investigators collecting evidence on the back porch and a little up the hill on the grassy part with a fast food bag on the ground. We couldn't tell what kind of bag it is, but these crime scene experts were wearing booties all around there and evidence markers and evidence bags.
I am a part of that Google library, so I'll read these and then I'll pull that up and we can go through those photos and find it, Phoenix.
Yeah.
So again, this is like the DoorDash helpline / Red Reviews 2022. Molly M is always delivering around 2 or 3 a.m. in a white car. She flies under the radar. If that's a DoorDash helpline, that's weird. But in the Moscow, Idaho Reddit one, it says late night delivery queen. Molly always parks half on the curb. White car runs silent. Yelp 2022. Jack in the box delivery. Driver said Linda was hard to get to. Food was dropped at the wrong address around 3:25. Her name was Molly.
Mm-hmm. So she knew that house.
Wait. Look at what April Rainshowers just said.
Open Mind has a video of her Patreon and Rumble. She's talking to Dan. Said she wasn't there. She gets to. Well, did you read the report that I sent the other day about BF's statement that basically the report said that she arrived 8 hours after and police were there.
Wow. How did she get into contact with her? That's insane. How would that be possible? I mean, that's so April said, yes, I'm on her Patreon and Rumble. Is the Rumble free, April, by chance, where you could send me that to the email birdiebombshell00@gmail.com? Hive, would you guys want to watch that? Because I would jeez. How did I not know that? Because oh, that's awesome. Or April, if you just want to tell me what to look up on Rumble, I guess I could just go on her page. I don't ever use Rumble. I like how it says uncensored and unstoppable on the. Oh, it's because so Rumble's not free. You know what? Let me go back to this. I'll buy that. I'll sign up quick, Hive. Give me 2 seconds. Oh, just hit the X. I'm so glad that I looked back up. Dude, you guys rock for that. I was like, I'll pay the $9 for the month and see how it is. That is awesome. That's how they get people. What is her username the same? Hive is the so well, it didn't pop up. Oh, right here. That's funny, Mrs. Birdie. Okay, so same username, right? What is the name of the video? Does chat? Can you guys help me out? What is the name of this video? I can start clicking around, but do 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 do. I appreciate that 5 green acres. That's awesome. We are looking for allegedly DM and OPM have talked. You know what? Let's just start watching something.
This is something nobody's thought about. I told you that they got arrested, so this is the right timeline for that photograph to even surface, and somebody decided that they are going to post it as a joke. Yeah, whoever it was, took a photograph of the girl coming out of the cell. What this picture looks like to me is somebody photographing this female coming out of this cell. Not going into the cell, but coming out. You should also look at like maybe the surroundings around that door if you can get the original photo. But this is what it looks like when they opened the door to put you into the cell. So somebody took that photograph as the individual was coming out of the cell.
Do you guys think that looks like a jail cell? I feel like there's hinges that would be used on a wooden door here. You can kind of see the 3 or the 4 screws. Okay. Well, April, even if you just have the video name, that would be wonderful. You know what I'll do while we wait too? Let me go to this. Sorry, Hive. Let me just try to pull up some of these photos. All right, I'm checking my email. You know what, Hive? Because I didn't have the Hive Mind finds tonight, this is just sent to me by somebody. And this person who sent me that has sent me some pretty good Hive Mind finds in the past. So have you guys seen this? The black truck and the four brothers? It's from 17 hours ago, so I doubt not everybody did. Yeah, Rolo, get in the Discord, bro. Do you guys want to watch it? Again, the reason too why, as I already said with the Hive Mind finds, I was talking with Will today. So and if I didn't already show this, is from Idaho 4 Revealed. I want to make sure that people know that. What are we watching here, chat?
Survey under that it is a fact though that you don't know of the 400 citizens that were questioned on this survey, you don't know which ones of them did not already previously know any of the fact specific representations in your questions. Isn't that true?
I do know because they answered yes or no to the question.
No. Oh, well, okay. Before you asked the question, you didn't know that. Isn't that correct?
That's correct.
And so somebody who hadn't heard the representation in that one slide that you acknowledged was false. Let's see. You acknowledged false that Mr. Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false. You know that to be false.
Which one?
That Mr. Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims.
Yes, I was trying not to say that because
But you knew that was false.
I did.
Yes. And so you have now, for anybody who had never heard that before, that question is now planted into them, unqualified representation that Mr. Kohberger stalked one of the witnesses, and that's false.
That's false. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Between that and Detective Payne and all the stuff with the PCA guys, this is just wild.
false. That
Also, shout out to Susan. She got me a Hulk jersey, and I forgot the other 2 items, but which I do have a PO box now too. So obviously, I like wearing jerseys on stream. So that's awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Mr. Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims. That's false. You know that to be false.
Which one?
That Mr. Kohberger allegedly stalked one of the victims.
Yes, I was trying not to say that because
But you knew that was false.
I did.
Yes. And so you have now, for anybody who had never heard that before, that question is now planted into them, unqualified representation that Mr. Kohberger stalked one of the witnesses, and that's false.
That's false. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Fine.
Stop and watch. I gotta wait for him to get up here anyway. This is where we can stop, observe what's going on, see if there's any other activity we need to be aware of. Now let's go make contact. How goes it?
Oh, hi, how are you?
Who lives here?
We're not actually
You don't know who lives here?
No,
Okay.
I don't.
We're just here for a noise complaint.
Oh, okay. No.
We're only here for a noise complaint. Come to the damn door. The other ones were because they ran like crazy. Get on the damn door. Oh, look at that. Abandoned property.
Who's the owner or
Who lives here?
Who's here?
I can go get them real quick.
Please, please. True lease. This is what the other group had that ran away. Yeah. Yeah, those ones kept walking to the car, and the other one around the back corner. So, abandoned property. There's a lot of fucking alcohol in there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like frustrating. Like, we'll figure out who lives here eventually.
Yeah. We'll go around back. I'll be on the cover.
Yeah.
Oh, hey. So if they just don't come to the door.
What's that?
Well, they don't come to the door.
It's not really push the issue. Probably just leave, but they're all mostly students, so the campus officers can figure out who lives here, and then honestly, it's a lot worse for them if they don't come to the door. Pretty frequently, like campus will. If students get in trouble, they will. If they get in trouble, the campus, it's actually honestly for like minor stuff, campus will hammer them, like suspend them or kick them out altogether or lose all your financial aid. Like, it's pretty serious. So they've had several kids like get super hammered and fall off balconies over the years and stuff and die. So they take it pretty serious.
Well, that's all the way over there. Just everyone fucking ran away? They not going to come back? Do you think I'm going to leave?
Someone from this house comes down here all of a sudden.
I'm sure they're fucking. I think the bunch was bolted.
Oh, guaranteed. Yeah.
And they knew we were in the front. They were.
There were some coming up behind us, and I don't know where they went, but they looked like they were probably headed this direction.
Yeah. Yes, please just go call someone. Thank you. All right. Well, they told me they just live across the street, so that means they're Sigma Chi.
Yep, they're Sigma Chi. He pointed right at it.
Yes, he did. That was not
Not intelligent, young man.
Fucking off-campus sorority
Yeah,
house.
yeah, 100%. 100%.
Fucking idiots. If I have to, I'll just start writing plates and
Yeah,
attack all of
I
them.
was seriously thinking the same thing. Take it all to campus back. Have a nice day. Figure out who these people
They threw
were.
a big ass party with underage drinkers, and they all left and wouldn't come to the door, so they're uncooperative.
Yep.
Here are the names of the people who were there.
Teach you how to knock.
Search. Just reading for a bell.
All right.
Hey, bud. We're just here for a noise complaint. Can you tell whoever lives here to come talk to us?
Sorry, I did not hear you. Sorry, say that again.
We're just here for a noise complaint. Whoever lives here needs to come talk to us, or we're going to start doing a lot more than just deal with noise.
Go tell them.
Yeah, just tell them to come to the front door. We'll deal with the noise complaint, and we'll leave. Yep. Thank you.
Now, is it the same or different in college towns? Like, do you have to open your door? Because I've always thought that if you don't open the door, you're fine. Like, you guys, I don't know if you remember in like high school or like underage, like you would just like be quiet, turn the lights off, and kind of party's over, but you're inside the house. Whoa, Kay. Kay says the DoorDash driver's a felon. I was in prison with her. There's no way in hell she could have had a There's no way in hell she could have a DoorDash account. I'm sorry, I'm a little behind, but there's tons of people who would use a different one. That's crazy. If you don't mind me asking, what year was that?
Stupid fucking idiots. You've got, I think, several people coming down. Finally!
No one's here.
So everyone here is trespassing?
Well, no one's here that's trespassing, but no one that lives here is here right now.
So where'd they go?
They're just not here. I have no clue where they went. No clue.
So you guys just throwing a party in their house at
They
this
were
time?
here at one point. They're not here right now. I just searched all the
They
rooms.
left and went over to some other party, and everyone is about to
I just
leave to
searched
go
all
over
the
to
rooms.
another party.
Okay. Who does live here? What are their names?
I am actually not sure. I live across the street. I
Okay.
just came over. I haven't drank a drop.
Male, female?
I think it's mainly females. I think it's like 4.
What sorority are they affiliated with?
I don't know.
I don't.
Yeah, you
I don't know
do.
if they're- I don't know if they're
I
associated
don't.
with it. I don't know.
I guarantee you they're associated with the sorority. As many of them are living here. It's an off-campus sorority house.
See, even that comment is a little bit odd. Like, I guarantee you that they're living here, either because he had gone there in the past and knows they're a part of it, and it was earlier in the year. But just like that tone, like, I understand it, but it's like, wouldn't you think that they would know by now just based on previous complaints?
I've been a cop for 22 years here. I'm not stupid. Don't play dumb games with me. I would rather deal with this as a noise complaint than getting a hold of the Greek council and the Greek board and all of that and the dean of students and playing all these stupid fucking games and stuff. I'll tell. You already told her about noise?
Yep. Already told
Cool.
about noise.
Well, I'm not going to warn you guys for noise because you don't live here.
Yeah.
But I would probably strongly suggest that anyone else that's left here, if they don't live here, you all should probably leave together.
I'll let them know.
Cool.
Thank you guys.
Because if not, I'm going to come back. And I don't think you want to. You don't. I'm not saying you are.
We were just.
They were here.
This
They went to a party.
this would not be the first party I've ever gone to where the people who live here leave and just let people stay. Why they do that, I don't know. That to me, that would be stupid. I'm not going to let people stay where I live, and it's responsible. I know. Trust me.
So this says janitor Jim still works at UI after guilty plea for heroin possession. This was written March 6th, 2015, more than 30 days after University of Idaho custodian James Len Kohberger pled guilty to felony possession of heroin. He remains employed there, although the future of his job is unclear. Kohberger, who admitted in November to selling heroin for Lee Thang and Jenny Lee, was known to confidential informants as Janitor Jim, according to court docs. He was the target of quote-unquote controlled buys set up by the Quad City Drug Task Force led by Dustin Blaker of the Moscow PD in fall of last year. After being charged with possession on September 13th, 2014, Kohberger began taking part in controlled buys, purchasing heroin and methamphetamine from Thang and Lee with cash provided by the task force. Kohberger testified at a probable cause hearing in November. He was not promised immunity from his charges of possession of a Schedule I controlled substance, which was the heroin, and driving under the influence. If he took part in the controlled buys, Kohberger said, well, he used methamphetamine. He did not. And then it gets cut off.
Like I said, I've done this for 22 years, man. I get it.
Yes, yeah. But yeah, we'll go let them know, and then make sure.
And just let them know I'm not going to stand out here and wait for them to come out and give them MIPs or anything like that. But in the same term, tell them not to leave with alcohol.
Yeah.
Because that's the first way you're going to get us to contact you.
Yeah.
Don't do stupid shit, right?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm sure it's not the first time you've heard somebody say, don't do stupid shit and the cops won't touch you.
Yeah.
Be smart. Don't be stupid. Don't draw attention to yourself. Right?
Yep.
Cool.
All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate it.
Oh, we're going to try it. I appreciate you guys going above and beyond for us and helping us out a little bit.
Totally.
Also, everybody, Phoenix had to step away. That's why she's being quiet. She messaged me off on the side, so she'll be back. I want to see if that stains there. You guys know that I'm still on that. Like, maybe it was a rusty pipe. Doesn't look like it right there. angle. I've never thought of that. I will save that for later. I'm back. Sorry. I know that it froze. I see the pattern that's happening. That's interesting, Hive. That is super interesting. Okay, guys, was it a cell phone that comes out of the jacket? You know what I mean? like if you forgot your phone in a jacket, like let's say like you ran in, like obviously it's not going to be on a fire hydrant. Like let's say like it was colder out in the morning, you need your jacket, you had to run back inside and grab it. Does that kind of look like how you'd search for a phone in a pocket? Maybe. I don't know. Never mind. That's not a phone, obviously. From like the 80s. What the hell is that? Okay, we've talked about this before in the Hive, but we really have only talked about this jacket on the fire hydrant once or twice for like 10 minutes. And then isn't it kind of odd they just toss the jacket back down?
That's a little sus.
Phoenix, you're
Sorry.
back.
Mini emergency.
Well, I hope everything's all right.
Yes.
All right. That's good to hear. And honestly, it was kind of, when I say creepy, not that you're creeping me out, but like I had the video pause and then I just hear, yeah, that's a little sus. Come right through the headphones.
That worked. No, you know what's sus? Who took this video?
It says Fox News. But does Fox News, like with many organizations, like I just know this from like Barstool or ESPN, if some clip starts going viral, they'll ask for permission to use it.
But why would they throw the jacket back?
I don't get that. That is the weirdest thing. Like they don't give a damn about the jacket.
Maybe they don't know
They don't know what?
about the jacket.
Oh. At this point, you're saying from earlier in the night.
Definitely.
That's so weird.
I bet they're watching this video and they're thinking, oh shit, that might have been evidence we tossed.
Well, that's a walkie-talkie. But is it unrealistic to think that it is their walkie-talkie? Like I'm trying to actually think about that. Like these guys would have walkie-talkies, right?
Yeah.
I would think.
I think he puts it in between his legs. If you slow this down, if you have the ability.
Yep.
I put a video up and I slowed it down. It looks like he's putting the walkie-talkie in between his legs, grabs something.
Okay, so right there. So he's putting something in his pocket. That looks like, I know it's not, but it looks like kind of like a CD player. You know what I mean? If you can picture that back in the day. Like it looks like his whole palm is around it. I don't know if that looks like a walkie-talkie there. Right here is the antenna.
Here's what's odd. I think they find evidence and they put their gloves on, but then they toss it back. I don't know if they thought it was evidence at the time.
I agree that the jacket is weird, but if you guys look right here, see this antenna? Watch. That looks like
an antenna.
It looks like the antenna of a walkie-talkie right here. So did he have it under his arm? You know what I mean? Because that was clear as day. I think, again, I'm not saying that they didn't pull something out of the jacket, but if it is that same shape, that's what everybody was kind of seeing, and it stayed in the same left hand when he started walking away. The jacket being picked up and then just thrown back down is odd to me. So let's see if we can keep this in sight the whole time. So Is that under his? How would he be lifting
What's
that up
the
and keeping
date?
it under
Does anybody know the date of this video
of the creators or of
of Fox? What was the date they released this video?
Fox News jacket on fire hydrant?
Because maybe they didn't know they had evidence and they just discarded it. I mean, the public is saying, I think that's Maddie's jacket. Did they know that at the time?
So the dates that I'm seeing of Fox News. None of them are close. Like most of them are like end of December, which just would have happened before then.
Yeah. I wonder who had the original video and when they took this. But good questions coming in from the chat.
So my question though is like, all right, you got this tucked under your arm. You're using that same arm. How do you keep the walkie-talkie underneath there? And so is that why it's put between his legs then? See how he switched it right there? He switched
because
it right there.
he puts it in there and then he bends over to pick something up.
But watch his right hand here. He switches it over. You see the walkie-talkie right here. You can see the antenna. See it?
Mm-hmm.
Moto Man, that is unbelievable today. Thank you. And I believe that first interview was
December 4th.
That was December 4th outside Moscow PD. Fox News also did that. He's wearing a Hurley hat and a cat hoodie. Hurley hat and a cat hoodie. See, he's holding it by the antenna. See, you can see that it's the same thing. And here's the block of it starting. And then he switches it to his hand right there. And there's the walkie-talkie.
But what were they looking for? What did they find? This guy looks around like to check to see if anyone's around before he walks back to that truck.
Again, that's just my opinion of what I saw. So, but I don't know, Phoenix. Oops.
Wow.
I'm going to turn the volume on. The music gives me very Making a Murderer series vibes, like the intro.
You can see the house.
Oh my God, Luna, that is exact. I just got goosebumps. The irony of
Yep.
this music being used is, I mean, it could just
Yep.
be creative geniusness on this creator's part, or it could just be the universe being like,
Or sending a message.
yeah, holy hell. Which, Phoenix, you can hear it, right?
Absolutely.
Nice. Nice. I'm glad that it stayed fixed because for a while you couldn't.
In this video, things that make it more prejudicial than probative are that it provides presence in Moscow. It is at night. It is a visual of the car that is not just the make and model. It is Mr. Kohberger's statement that he doesn't think seat belts provide much in the way of safety. Mr. Kohberger's question about why they need his phone number. Mr. Kohberger's question about how the officer reacts when people lie to him about wearing a seatbelt. If the court allows this evidence in, the state has the ability to use this to make many other points beyond identity. And the jury would have the ability to potentially seek to ask to rewatch the video and draw other conclusions that we are worried about, such as I mentioned, him being at night, not wanting to, it being at night, him not wanting to give his phone number.
It's a great question.
Totally.
I mean, we've, at least live, Phoenix, we've never asked that question, but that's such a great point.
Well, these universities work together.
Well, right. Like it's a pretty obvious answer why, right? Like obviously it's a huge event. They're so close to each other, but it is interesting. Do you guys remember what Will said last night?
Which part?
It was right in the beginning. He said, I suspect they selected. He said, I suspect they got Brian's info out of someone's phone.
Yeah. Oh, gosh. Yep.
That's insane.
Thank you. Just hang up on that.
Oh, hang up.
Yeah, we'll just gotcha.
You guys take it off on me?
Yeah. I didn't hear you, sir. I'm sorry about that.
Y'all three turned around and I pointed my flashlight. You said, hey, come here. You guys all turned around and walked away.
I thought it was just like a fake person, honestly.
Yeah.
Like some dude from a frat or
people are out
something.
here.
Some dude from a frat or something. Someone trying to fuck with us.
Okay, that's fair.
You guys don't have ID?
Okay.
Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and today we're going to be going over the all-new 2020 F-150 Platinum. Super excited to do this video because just pulling it over, the seats are super, super soft. But anyways, you've got the full LED.
By the way, that's like, I just have to say that's probably the last feature and benefit of a brand new F-150 that I would give is that the seats are soft if I was selling this truck. They're super soft.
They're super comfy for idling outside people's houses for an hour.
Yeah, if you, oh jeez, if if Sammy T was up here at Phoenix, she would have a
I
field
know
day with
that's.
that one.
I had a thought in my head that Sammy
Yeah.
T would.
Yes. Oh,
That's why I said what I said. I'm starting to think like her. That's
Yeah.
scary.
That's hilarious.
Headlight display. So you got these kind of like LED accent lights that go around, and then you got the full LED headlamps. And then I love the
See, that's a reasonable one. Should have started with that.
finish on the front.
Wait.
Let me
Again,
go
this is
back.
stupid. That's obviously not Kaylee's Range Rover.
It is.
Whoa.
It is. He takes us for a ride in her Range Rover.
Wow.
And Bertie, I'm going to have to step away. So thanks for having me on. And
Yeah.
I will come back up, I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow and Friday. Wait,
Well, I
what
thought
day is
Sammy
today?
comes on Thursday.
Is it already Wednesday? Yeah, I mean,
Yes.
yeah. So Friday, you and I
Yeah.
will be at our normal time, and then I'll do the Devil's Advocates after dark.
Sounds good.
Okay. See if you.
I'll be here Friday. Take care. Bye, Hive.
Bye bye.
And there's some DNA that we haven't really spoken about in the course of our coverage of this case, and it came up in court. Take a listen to Ann Taylor, the attorney representing the accused killer.
What other explanation is there? The magistrate wasn't given a chance to ask that. She wasn't given a chance to ask that when she wasn't told about unknown male B, blood on the handrail. She wasn't given a chance to ask about that when she wasn't told about unknown male D, blood on a glove right outside the residence. She wasn't given a chance to ask any of those questions.
Unknown male B, unknown male D.
The way that Ann Taylor starts this, obviously, I think Ann Taylor does a really good job. Sometimes I just think from like a narrative perspective, again, I'm not a lawyer. This is not coming at Ann Taylor. I do think like her tone stays very crisp and professional as it should. But it's like I do feel like in like a what other explanation is there for this? Yeah, like wake Hippler's ass up is what I'm getting at.
What other explanation is there? The magistrate wasn't given a chance to ask that. She wasn't given a chance to ask that when she wasn't told about unknown male B, blood on the handrail. She wasn't given a chance to ask about that when she wasn't told about unknown male D, blood on a glove right outside the residence. She wasn't given a chance to ask any of those questions.
Unknown male B, unknown male D, DNA found in 2 different spots.
All right, so this says Blaine also contacted Director of Fraternity and Sorority Life, Nick O'Neill, to be prepared when MPD released the names of the victims. We had a strong suspicion. Oh, excuse me. We had a strong suspicion Greek students were involved because of reports we'd heard. We had a strong suspicion Greek students were involved because of reports we'd heard, Blaine explained. But our protocol is whenever a student dies, we help track down contact information and give that to the police. We don't reach out directly to families initially. We give the police as much information as we can in a legal sense so they can do their jobs of notifying the families. This is Green S and Kenyon T, 2023 University President's Crisis Handbook, how a non-traditional leader took his alma mater from insolvency to sustainable success, John Wiley and Sons.
Upon learning of their death, Upon learning of their deaths, an alert was sent to students to shelter in place. It was lifted less than an hour later.
There's been no named suspect, but as this investigation continues, you believe that the students and residents of the city are safe right now.
Right. Especially because
So obviously, Mrs. Birdie and I, we don't have kids yet, but I can't imagine if I had college-age kids, there's a quadruple homicide right down the road from where my kids are living at. And they go, we don't have a suspect. Just trust us, bro. You're safe. Trust us, bro. You're safe, because either the cops might have done this shit, a protected person might have done this shit, and we know it. And they're not going to do it again because we know who it is. And that's why you shouldn't be worried we don't have a suspect, because we just haven't had enough time yet to go and frame somebody.
given the very focused nature of what went on there, no other apartments.
Believe that the students and residents of the city are safe right now.
Right. Especially because.
Yeah, this dude needs to be a suspect with these eyebrows. Holy hell.
Believe that the students and residents of the city are safe right now.
Right. Especially because given the very focused nature of what went on there, no other apartments nearby were involved. And in the ensuing 8 or 9 hours between the actuality of the crime and the call into the police, nothing happened. I think the eventual conclusion.
Again, playing Monday morning quarterback here, but it's like, I would be like, if I truly wanted people to believe that they were safe, I would be like, I wouldn't say right. I would be like, yes, absolutely they are safe. Or I would say, hell no, they're not safe. Keep your head on a swivel. Jason Bourne is out on the loose, and he's a forensic ninja, and we're not going to be able to track him down. There's just right.
Residents of the city are safe right now.
Right. Especially because given the very focused nature of what went on there, no other apartments nearby were involved. And in the ensuing 8 or 9 hours between the actuality of the crime and the call into the police, nothing happened. I think the eventual conclusion is going to bear out the fact that this was a one-off
I'll let it play.
crime that the police 8 or 9 hours between their apartments nearby were involved. And in the ensuing 8 or 9 hours between the actuality of the crime and the call into the police, nothing happened. I think the eventual conclusion,
how do they know that,
is going to bear out the fact that this was a one-off crime that was committed and was very focused and doesn't involve other students or the public in general at all.
It's narrative planting, narrative seeding the whole time. The Lewiston Tribune. Our beloved husband and father passed away Friday, July 13th, 2001 in Boise after living a full and robust life. Those who knew Kumer well said that what set him apart was his intelligence, courage, vision, vitality, and love for family and friends, but most of all, he marched to the beat of his own drum. He was born on October 6th in 41 in Moscow, the son of Leon Grant and Gwen Pratt Green. Oh man, I think I see where this is going. After graduating from Moscow High School in 59, he attended the University of Idaho, during which time he received a bachelor's degree in accounting in 1963, as well as an MS in accounting and Juris Doctorate in 69. Upon graduating from the university in 63, he practiced as a CPA for Presnell Gage & Co. in Lewiston. Kummer commenced the practice of law in Boise in 69 with Eberly in Berlin, eventually embarking on a solo practice in July of 71, focusing on civil and commercial litigation, tax litigation, real estate development, and litigation education law. In addition, he served as commissioner and president of the Idaho State Bar from 95 to 98. Oh, Jesus Christ. In addition to practicing law, he and his wife, Joanne, own and operate a successful commercial nursery operation, the Green Ranch and Tree Farm. The ranch, as it was known, was one of his greatest possessions. With the help of his wife and family, he created a refuge, a sanctuary where family and friends gathered to celebrate life and create memories. He enjoyed cooking, socializing with peers and friends, jogging, and spending time with his 5 children and 9 grandchildren. Kummer was a dedicated and loving father, husband, and grandfather. He was preceded in death by his mother, Gwen, and survived by his wife of 27 years, Joanne, father, Dr. Leon Green, sister, Diane Gwen Jarnson, sons, Kummer Scott, Clifford Leon, Stephen Grant, Michael Christian, and daughter, Holly Lynn Melker, the 4 brothers. The family requests that in lieu of flowers, contributions be made to the Leon G. Green Parks and Recreation Scholarship, University of Idaho College of Education.
I knew Ethan and Xana.
What do you remember about them?
They were really good people. I always loved seeing them whenever they were around campus. Ethan was a good friend of mine, so it's pretty sad. But I came back because I still want to keep pursuing my dreams. But you know, it's definitely a lot hard for people to come back, especially after that.
Yeah. Do you think it's brought the community, this university, closer together, or has it fractured the campus?
I mean, I would definitely say it fractured it, as you know, not a lot of people are here.
Yeah.
But in a way, it's brought us together, especially just the Moscow community and Idaho in general.
How do you feel about them not catching the person that did this? Is that completely shocking to you right now? Or?
I mean, given the little amount of evidence that they have and have found, it's not too surprising that they haven't found the suspect, but it's still just disheartening.
Well, that was, I mean, what happens? Wait, what? Yeah, this is already going to be a copyright, but at this point, what the hell? Hopefully it wasn't long enough. Ugh. Dude, it happens regularly where I'll watch people who can clip together body cam footage, articles, footage like this. That's a talent, honestly. that is an unbelievable eye. And then to have the ability to piece it together in a 35-minute video where thousands of people in just 17 hours can watch this and you make a compelling argument, it's just unbelievable. So shout out to Idaho 4 Revealed. That's a great video. And thank you to, I believe it was Amina who sent me that. And to wrap up this stream, Hive, I want to say genuinely that you guys have my word. If I ever make a mistake or if I ever say something that's not right, I hope you guys know by now I'd correct it. The other thing is, as much as you guys know I don't talk about other creators to just go back to this, there's a certain time where it's like, okay, well, I have to say something. So I felt like that was appropriate today for me to do that. But what I want to say thank you for is the amount of people that understood the reason why Phoenix and I did the interview with Will the way that we did. So I just want everybody to know, like, this Hive is I was talking with Festive last night and I just said, I was like, it sounds so corny, but it's like, I feel like with how much I look forward to coming on stream and talking to you all, it's like going to hang out with my friends all night. And I'm very honored to be able to do that each night. So if you guys haven't joined the Discord, the link is in my YouTube bio. Just click more, and then it'll say join the Hive Mind. That link should be fixed. You have to do it on an open browser. But with that being said, I will be live tomorrow night, normal time, 7 p.m. with Sammy T Mafia. She has been texting me throughout this week, getting prepared. Actually, I'll tell you guys what she's been studying. It's about the state's new expert being brought on, and wait till you hear what I found. I'm going to send you a bunch of stuff on this Dr. DNA expert. So that'll be interesting. As you guys know, Sammy has a background being a paralegal. So I will see you all tomorrow evening, 7 p.m. Central with Sammy T Mafia. And I hope everybody sleeps good and has a great rest of their night. Cheers, everybody.
Birds flying high, you know how I feel. Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, it's a new life.